It's one of the really strange facts about musical history that in 1813, two of the greatest composers who've ever lived were born. One of them a German, Richard Wagner, and the other an Italian, Giuseppe Verdi. Now, last February, many of you will remember that we did a fantastic concert for Wagner to concentrate on him and to celebrate the fact that it was 200 years since he was born. Well, next season, still in the year, 2013, we must do an evening for Verdi. Verdi has always been an extremely important composer for me. My first performances as a professional conductor, very young and very inexperienced, were of operas by Verdi. I've done more performances of his music than of any other composer, and I think he is still one of the great voices of the past. Verdi has more operas regularly performed for the public than any other composer. And I think the reason is that in his greatest operas, we sense an understanding of the human condition. We sense a real compassion and feeling for human beings in difficulties, in great times. And his operas, even the ones that seem to have rather old-fashioned libretti, still speak to us in the most wonderful, direct, moving way. He has a sense of scale, a sense of the enormous power of human feeling. And he manages to find music that speaks to us absolutely immediately. What you hear is what it is. So I thought rather than just do one opera, we would celebrate his bicentenary by looking at one part of his life, the last part of his life, when together with the poet and composer and librettist Verdi Boito, he developed a relationship that gave us three of his most remarkable creations. The second version of his great opera, Simon Boccanegra, his last tragedy, based on Shakespeare's Othello, and the great surprise of his life, his final opera, the great comedy, Falstaff. I thought if we could look at these three operas and play considerable extracts from them and proceed the concert with an introductory hour, talking about Verdi, his work, his personality, which was rather interesting and unusual, his lifespan, very long, right into old age, and create a picture of who this man was and what he tried to do. It might be a good way for a symphony orchestra, in a wonderful acoustic of the Bridgewater Hall, to remember him and focus on him for one day. So, Verdi's genius will be apparent in this concert. We're going to do it as we've done so often in the past, in the early evening, so that people can come from far away, perhaps even from London, and enjoy this concert with its special introduction, and then return home. And so it's something that can be encompassed within the day. And I think this makes for a very special event. And in planning a season of concerts, we need to have our mountain tops and our beautiful rich valleys. And this Verdi evening is going to be one of the great mountain tops.